I recently gave a presentation to a contingent of OEMs and dealers about putting Boombacks on every outlet on the last third of a center pivot to create what we call innovative boom technology, or simply IBT. Once again, I was told that the single biggest drawback to growers installing innovative boom technology on a center pivot is the perceived high cost of what they consider a luxury add-on. But is it a high-cost luxury add-on? Or is it a cost-effective solution to make your pivot even more profitable? Let's take a look. First, we need to understand where pivots make their money. Where does the money come from? On a typical quarter-mile pivot, the last span covers 13 times more acreage than the first span, requiring increased nozzle sizes to the end of the pivot. The larger area covered at the end of the pivot translates to an exponentially greater return on investment. If there are soil or crop problems, they are normally under the first or the last span because of the vast difference in area covered and rotation speed. The first span covers just 2.34 acres. The last span covers 30.38. The first span is prone to overwatering and poor uniformity. The last span to a too high of average application rate. It only makes sense to focus on the larger area covered to reap the most benefit on dollars spent. Increasing yields by just 10% on the 13 times greater area of the last span compared to the small area covered by the first span is far more lucrative. Let's take a deep dive on the cost per outlet per acre, comparing the first span to the last. Typically on the first span, to reduce overwatering, we have sprinklers and regulators on traditional drops and elbows on every other outlet, plugging the others. Using the traditional configuration, elbow, drop hose, weight, regulator, and sprinkler, your cost per outlet is approximately $42. But your cost per outlet per acre is approximately $162. That's because we are only covering 2.34 acres under the first span. Now let's look at the last span. We're going to use all 18 outlets. We're going to install a hose boom, weight, regulator, and sprinkler. That jumps your cost per outlet to around $169. But let's look at the cost per outlet per acre. That's down to $100. That's because we're covering 30.38 acres. That's a 32% decrease in cost. Let's look at the cost per acre per year of a complete new sprinkler package, including innovative boom technology using the hose boom. Using estimated costs a grower might typically see from the dealer, we came up with a $12,000 investment. But an individual grower's cost could be higher or lower depending on the number of outside factors. Using 120 acres covered under a typical quarter-mile pivot with a 30-foot overhang, a 5-year loan at 7% to cover the initial cost, it is only $23.76 per year per acre investment. When compared to other annual inputs needed to achieve high yields, innovative boom technology with hose booms is an extremely affordable option. Let's examine the cost of some of the other products needed to grow a maximum yield crop. Chemigation and fertilizers can run as high as $1,000 per acre per year, depending on the crop and the area of the country you are growing in. Gypsum is an $80 per acre per year expense. Dam and dike is $35 per acre per year expense that is typically eliminated with innovative boom technology. And if that is the case, at $23.76 per acre per year, you are already recouping the entire cost of a complete sprinkler package, including the hose booms needed to create innovative boom technology. Chemigation and fertilizers require a far greater degree of uniformity and a lower average application rate than water alone, making the benefit of the decreased average application rate provided by innovative boom technology almost a necessity. With the high cost of chemicals and fertilizers, you want to make sure you are getting the most out of your investment. According to a study done by Washington State University, innovative boom technology creates a 24% reduction in runoff by the fifth pass, which is critical to keep pollutants from contaminating surrounding areas when fertilizing. In 2005, a large grower in California was trying to germinate carrot seeds with a pivot. The application rate required was too high for the ground to absorb, especially at the end of the pivot. With the guidance of a distinguished agronomist, they decided to install Boombacks on the last third of a pivot to lower the average application rate. Over a 3-year period, the solution was so effective they installed several more pivots. After that initial 3 years, I went down to California and interviewed the growers. This is what they told me. We have compiled data on all the different ways of irrigating. Pivots with Boombacks, hand lines, wheel lines, drip, and flood. We have determined using pivots with Boombacks is more than a solution for carrot germination. We are now putting water into the ground more efficiently and reaping the benefits. A 33% water savings, 37% increase in yields, increased crop quality, increased uniformity, and runoff was practically eliminated. When compared head-to-head, pivots with Boombacks are by far the most economical way to irrigate. After those interviews, I knew we had more than a solution for carrot germination. We are now putting water into the ground more efficiently and reaping the benefits. If you look at the 33% water savings, that's coming from the eliminated runoff. We are now getting deep root penetration. All the listed benefits are generated by a far more efficient use of water. Getting it wrong on the first span is far less costly than getting it wrong on the last span. Getting it right on the last span makes you a lot more money than getting it right on the first span. I will leave you with this last quote from one of the largest growers in the world. Pivots with Boombacks makes us the most money. For questions or more information, contact us by telephone or email, and you can always find more information at boombacks.com.